y'all. Sorry. Sorry, guys. We're back. And she can rejoin in a minute. Rejoin back in a minute. I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I didn't want it to ring like it did a few minutes ago, and then I have to get off. So, sorry, guys. We getting it together. We are getting it together. There we go. So, we just waiting now for pastry chef Syreeta Moore to join back, and I can add her to the live. But what I was saying was, how was y'all Valentine's Day? I didn't do anything for Valentine's Day. I celebrated on the weekend. So yesterday I really didn't do anything. I cooked, went to sleep. Nothing spectacular. But the weekend, we went out to eat. I got flowers, I got candy, I got chocolate, I got a card, I got 2 teddy bears, and some other stuff. Some good stuff. But yeah, Valentine's Day was great. Was great. All right, so let's see what it's saying. Okay. I'm just waiting for people to join back, and then we're going to get it started. Hey Rita. Alright, give me 1 second. Like, can I see it? Okay. Do you want me to add you back now? Oh, okay, okay. We getting it together, y'all. We getting it together. All right, let me see. I should turn this light down. I feel like it's super bright. So wait. So this is weird. So let's say I accepted it. It won't let me accept you. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's saying that, why is it not letting you join? That's weird. This thing is crazy. All right. Oh, there it is. There it is. Wait. Wait. We're just waiting for people to join, more people to join before we get started. Hey, Shani. Back up. I feel like I'm super close. I know y'all had fun in Texas, Shane. You got to tell me all about it. Rita told me how much fun she had. I'm super jealous. I love Tony Evans. I would have loved to have gone to church and listened to him preach the word. Okay. So what was he saying? So as we wait, let me just tell y'all, we have pastry chef Syreeta Moore with us tonight. She's going to be telling us about her road to joy and peace, telling us how she got joy and peace, telling us a little bit about her testimony, her story. And she's my best friend. And anybody that knows me know I'm going to say that. I'm going to throw in that she's my best friend. Y'all had a good time? Good. I'm glad y'all had fun. It looked like it was fun. I'm glad y'all had a great time.
I feel like I was choking. I love the video.
That was no. Yeah, but no, that was good. I needed that. That's good. That was cute though.
That was like
special. I mean, either way, we both got on black.
Who's on
that? I just told everybody how people that know me know I'm going to say she's my best friend. I definitely said.
My back was okay.
Definitely said, honey, and then I was like, oh, hey, worst wait.
That's my boo.
Okay.
Yes, I do hear your TV.
Yeah, so because I had music on, but you know it's like YouTube is going. I'm about to turn it down. I had it on when I wasn't saying.
And my sister on here too, looks like.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shani's on
Oh,
here.
Princess on here, Takaya on here, Ryan on here. Hi, family.
Why do you come and cheesing that hoe? She did. Happy to see me, baby. Happy to see me. It's always about me.
Oh, my niece on here. What?
All right, just leave
really, Sandy? I'm just seeing it on my end.
Okay, I said I think it's a delay.
Right. Okay.
Right. Let's give it a little bit more time.
Use the noise in the background.
Girl. And that's what I'm thinking. You can hear like traffic outside. That's all right.
Yeah,
they can hear us.
Ask so can hear something clear.
I miss you, B. Oh, I miss you too. Come on back. I will make your meal. Come back. I will make the meal for you. Jenny, can you hear us clear? Let's see. Hey, Mia.
Yes, I need a battery. It's all right. It sure is.
Right, baby. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me see. I'm waiting to see if Chantal says, hey, baby. Yes.
What'd she say?
Rita made us. No, it wasn't Rita's fault. Okay, be clear. No, it wasn't Rita's fault. It was me. I had some stuff going on in my life. It wasn't Rita. Okay. Well, hey y'all. This is the introduction before the interview. So we have pastry chef Syreeta Moore, better known as what I'm gonna say, my best friend. And we are here. Yes, honey. I'm so happy. And guess what, y'all? She is my first interview ever. My first.
Yeah.
But it's good because we comfortable. So it'll be like we're comfortable with each other. Yeah. So we just here to talk about your road to joy and peace, just a little bit about your story, your testimony, anything that we feel might uplift women. Since you know the podcast is all about women. It's about sisterhood, relationships, but all things women. It's a positive place for women to feel safe and to be able to tell their stories.
Yeah.
So you ready?
Go follow your lead.
Okay, good. So my first question is, have you ever felt like I introduced you, girl. I said you was pastry chef Syreeta Moore, but yes, you can.
So yeah, as Veronica said, I'm Syreeta Moore, pastry chef, and I reside in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a mom. I'm an entrepreneur, and I feel like I'm a lot of things, but that's the main thing. I'm a believer as well. So I'm honored to be on my besties podcast. So yay, going fast to answer the questions and not be too and speak too fast. First, I make so
Right.
What to Speak Truth is the company name of my company, which is named after my daughter Winter. I also have 3 sons as well. I believe one of them is on here. So we specialize in scratch made buttercream cakes, cookies, and my mama's sweet potato pie and custards. So we're located, like I said, in Baltimore City. So that's my main thing that I'm working on right now.
Good. And guess what, y'all? We're gonna figure out how to ship these pastries because we all want them. We all want them. So that'll be great. So I'm just gonna start off by asking you, have you ever felt like you lost your joy?
That's trying to make because you know I ain't gonna say it's a tough question. Well, I want to make sure that I'm answering the question the way where I'm being effective, but at the same time, I'm trying to make sure I memorize it. Keep it simple. Yes. Yes. The human in me would not be honest if I say I haven't had a moment that I haven't lost joy. I think we all go through seasons in life where we experience different hardships, and I like to call them hiccups in life. And that in those moments, we might even question some of the things that we're doing, and that may lead to us, feeling frustrated and unhappy and unsure. That can lead to sometimes not feeling so joyful. However, I don't tend to stay in those places, meaning that, have a moment when I'm feeling sad or unsure or even just confused. I try to make sure I do what's possible to regain my joy, because I have learned in the past few years that sometimes I don't have to have all the extravagant things taking place and happen to me. I've learned in those difficult moments, and like I said, I can't. It's like I have a few, but I don't have anything that's like really major. But I just make sure that I do the things that I need to do to retain and keep my joy. So,
yeah. So one of the questions, like, how did you know that you lost your joy and peace? I know for me, when I lost my joy and my peace, I was a totally different person. I mean, you know this. I was mean. I was snappy. Like, I was just really irritable. So that's when I realized, like, dial us back. Something's going on. So how did you tell that maybe you didn't have joy moments?
One of the things that I do that I'm working to improve, I tend to isolate myself. I tend to like back away from the public and people, and then sometimes I can get a little discouraged and not have my JoJo, as I like to call it, in my drive. That's when I notice that I can kind of be dealing with something, because it can affect my drive. By nature, very animated person, as you know, and I'm determined every day to get up and strive towards my goals. So I had a season one time when I felt kind of like lost, and I was kind of like at a standstill, and I wasn't behaving and moving in the way that I would normally move. That was the time I noticed too, because I wasn't my normal self, and I had tend to kind of like draw back and isolate myself and to be kind of away from everything, and wasn't touching base on the things that I would normally do, to work towards my goals. But that's one of the ways I know.
Yeah, no, that's the I know you isolate yourself.
That's a good thing. I believe that. Yeah.
I mean, I think sometimes it's okay to, I know when I became homeless, I mean, y'all knew what y'all knew, but for the first couple of days, I had to go through that by myself. Like, just me and God, I had to, or I don't think I would have made it. So isolating yourself sometimes is not bad, but I know that you said
it's a good isolation when you have to pull back and just kind of evaluate what's taking place in life, and then there's another form of just withdrawing, from life. And I think that's probably the better word, with where I just kind of withdraw, and like I said, I just became discouraged, and I stopped kind of working on certain projects and certain things that I know that would give me my joy, because once again, in that moment, I was in, I like to call it unfamiliar territory, and for instance, something that was difficult,
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to figure out how to navigate
Mm-hmm.
in that season. And then once I realized that, okay, this is not as bad as I think it is, and that I'm going to be okay through the grace of God, then I get that
Yeah.
joy back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely gonna be okay. Because you got God. You got God. So another question would be, what would you say to someone that maybe might have gone through the similar things that you've gone through to help them? Like, what could you tell somebody that would be going through, like, a depression or
Okay.
just unhappy
And
moments?
I'll become transparent, because like you said, this is a group for ladies, and if I'm here to everybody, like
Yeah.
with me, if people don't know, I was married, so I'm divorcee, so I've been divorced. So that was definitely a challenging time, especially when you know that it's coming to a point that you're going to have to make a choice to lead up to that decision. It's not pleasant, it's not beautiful, and it's, to some people, it's not even a pleasing thing, and you can down upon, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you have children. And what I had to tell myself in that moment is that, okay, like I just said, this is something that I had to make a decision. I had to make a choice, and I had to choose to do something that would be healthy for myself, not only for myself, but for my family. That this is just a
Mm-hmm.
moment that will not be permanent. So I had to tell myself I didn't want to make decisions or act out in a way where I would act out in a way where I would make a choice that would give me that would produce an outcome that would be permanent, right? So that I want to like
Mm-hmm.
just give up,
Right.
just completely give up in life in general, and just say, you know what, because this has happened to me, I'm no longer good, or I no longer can be successful what I'm striving to do. So what advice I want to give is that know that is life is going to happen to us, things will take place to us, and know that
Yes.
that does not mean when those things takes place that you're no longer could be the person that you're striving to be. You're no longer going to be that woman that you're creating to be. It's a season and it's a
Yeah.
moment, and do whatever you need to do in a healthy manner to get yourself through it. Love yourself through it. Pull yourself through it. Use any resources that you may have, whether it be prayer, whether it be speaking to a person that you can trust, whether, like you just said a few minutes ago, if we just sit back for a minute and evaluate the situation. And then if you need to cry, cry. If you need to shout, shout. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we're healthy, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
not pulling on things that's going to pull you deeper into something that can make the situation worse. But just tell yourself, okay, I am experiencing this. I like to call them hiccups, and I am, it's like obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
God never promised us that we wouldn't have any. Um, take a deep breath, take it one
Right.
day at a time, and give yourself grace to go through it. And don't compare yourself to the next person. Somebody else might went through it and got over it in a month or even 3 years. Don't compare yourself to no one else. Do what you need to do that's healthy for you. And so that this is a
Mm-hmm.
situation that I'm dealing with, and this is not permanent, but this is a temporary situation that I can get myself out of.
Yes, absolutely. And see, I would say for me, choose you. When I started choosing me, that was it. My life got better. I normally, because I am a natural pleaser and a giver, I put other people before me. No, once I started choosing me, I got peace, I got joy, and my peace is something that I've worked so hard for, and I'm never gonna let nobody take that again. It's mine. So yeah, I would say for women, choose you. Once you start choosing you, things will change. Things will become, a little easier for you. So, what brings you
Ooh,
peace?
a lot of
What
things.
brings you peace?
I'm glad that I found a lot of things that bring me peace. And hopefully this makes sense. One of the things that brings me peace is knowing that I'm going to have peace. If that makes sense. Like knowing that I'm going to
Yes.
be experiencing peace is a joyful and a peaceful thing within itself, right? So prayer is a big thing. Like I said earlier, believer of God. So he is the author of all my life. So I've learned to seek him and to allow him to bring me
Mm-hmm.
comfort and to lean on the things that he instructs me to do. Um, peace is also knowing that one, and I'm gonna keep probably recycling the same thing, knowing that the things that I do experience in life is just temporarily, and knowing that God hasn't forsaken me, that I will be okay.
Right.
My other piece is my family, you know, my love. I know, I mean, I know a lot of people can't say this, but I come from a really big family, and they're supportive, very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And even as times they may don't know a lot of things that take place behind closed doors, but just the thought of knowing that if I need to reach out to them, my family and friends, that they're there and they'll support me. But just
Right.
knowing that peace exists gives me peace within myself. You know what I mean? Because you have some people who
Right.
feel like when they experience different things in life that they can't like grasp the idea of like, okay, I will never feel happy again. You know, I will never be loved again. I will never be this again. And I know for me that I will be that again and probably 10 times more. So my so knowing the idea that I can experience peace and God has given us that opportunity to experience peace and peace within Him, that's enough right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Absolutely. My kids bring me peace, and then I want to say, my children bring me peace for sure. God definitely brings me peace. My sister circle is peace, brings me peace, and joy too, actually. And I always say that, like when I come on here, I always put on, there is something special about having a circle. Don't gotta be a big circle, but a circle of sisters that if things, like, you know, if things go awry, they can call you. It don't have to be judgmental, and not friends
Right.
that may influence you to do the wrong thing. Like my circle don't, we, you know that our circle is tight. Like we gonna give it to me straight. We gonna talk about God, and we gonna try to guide us to the right decision. And it's unbiased. It's right. I told, well, my daughter did Tania, she did an interview, and she interviewed me, and she asked, who would I call? I said, my mother, Kenji, and you and Ivy. And I said, my sisters, because it's unbiased information. It's never going to be, well, oh, because you're my friend, I'm going to just tell you you right all the time. No, that ain't, we don't do that. So what brings you joy? So it's the same things, basically? It might be. It might be.
And it's not trying to sound like cliche, like all supernatural, but I mean, I'm just being honest. Like when you have like been when you have experienced, like I'm 42, so not saying I experienced it all, but I've definitely experienced some things in life. And then when you look back and see that you overcome it, and okay, you know what? That gives me a certain joy, because I know that I can overcome these things, not on my own strength,
right?
Even by certain, you know, principles that I practice. Just like I said, making sure that I keep myself in healthy environments, making sure I'm very mindful of the things that I watch, the things that I listen to, the people I surround myself with, right? Striving. I'm gonna keep using the word striving because I'm not perfect. Making sure that I make the best decisions for myself and for my family, for my household. It also gives me joy to know that even though I've been through some things in my life, I'm still, you know, striving, staying strong to do what I want to, you know, do. Like right now with me running a business, and once again, I don't mind being transparent. You know, I lost my job. 2023. So pretty much a year ago, and for many years, I feel like I'm one of those people where like I can be very practical. Like I gotta have a list of, I gotta know what's coming next, right? And when that took place, I no longer was, I feel like, in full control, because I knew getting up in the morning, going to this place, doing this type of work, I knew I was going to bring in. I knew how my bills was going to get paid. You know, I just knew the next step, you know. And then when that shift took place, I had to figure out how to adjust, right? I had to figure out adjust, and I had to tell myself, okay, so this is what you have going on, and this is what you don't have going on. So let's you know, let's sit down, let's focus, let's take some time to collect your thoughts and figure out what we're gonna go, you know, next, right? So just that, I'm proud of myself, and you gotta say this, I'm proud of myself and pat myself on the back, even when I have these mini storms that comes, which I felt like God allows to come, because I said it before, it's like developing your character, right? And it's like on a workout and you develop a new muscle that you didn't know you have, right? And that muscle that you have built, you'll be able to use later on down the road. And all those things that you experience will keep you kind of grounded when you get to the next season of your life, right? So I find joy of me just keep going. You know, I'm going in life and being grateful for the opportunities that God has presented to me. I've gotten to a place in life, even the smallest things, when I just get up and say, God, thank you for just allowing my hair grow today. See my locks. Thank you, God, for, thank you, God, for the fresh air. I mean, I want people like, God, thank you for allowing me to see the hair, to allow me to taste, So I find joy in things like that, because at one point I think I took some of those things for granted. When you experience sometimes a lot of losses, in which I have experienced some losses. And even with the job, I had to tell myself, God has many resources, but he's only one source. So just because I'm no longer doing that at that particular job anymore, doesn't mean that God won't put something else in that place. So no matter what gets moved around or transferred or shift, God is still the source. And he can choose to use any form of resource, to take care of what he needs. It was one time my resources was on the government. I did what I needed to do. I wasn't happy about it. I didn't want to do it, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I couldn't get so caught up in my own ego and my own pride where I wouldn't take at the time in that season what God had needed me to do to take care of myself and take care of my family, and also to pull me closer to my calling. So I'll make sure.
When I described you, when I was doing my stories, I said that your testimony was a testimony of resilience. And I said you went through life and did it, and you did it gracefully. Sometimes we go through stuff, but then we go through it and we come out harsh. Like, what I mean? Like mean, and because the world hurts us. The world breaks our heart. But I will say, knowing you've gone through it very gracefully. You're still you. We have moments, ups and downs, but you said you have always been you. How do you think you maintain that? Just being like, it might just be the same thing you said, like just staying grounded in God. But
I always want to give God credit for this, because for some reason, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect, and if somebody acts differently doesn't mean they doing something wrong. I've always been concerned about how people watch how I am going through a storm. I'm very conscious of how I respond to a situation that's not pleasant, or that may bring hurt and discomfort, because someone is watching how I respond to this, what I call temporary hardship. And again, it's something that's temporarily. So I do not act out in a way that can allow somebody to say, oh wow, you know what I mean, that I don't want to give God his glory even in the midst of me discomfort and pain. Also am a mom, and I know my children are watching how I respond to things that's difficult. Doesn't mean I ain't have moments where I almost, temporarily lost it, or flip, but I care about how people, and that's the thing I've learned. Sometimes I don't want people to watch me, but I've learned dealing with God, he's going to put you on the stage in front of people, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not,
you might be the
even the children, is watching how you respond to this. And because I lean on, once again, something that's greater than myself, that helps a whole lot. That helps a whole lot. But I've always kind of been that person that's like, Syreeta, if I had a season where I had lost a lot of my loved ones. And that is something in my family we never really had experiencing. We didn't experience death like that. Like, it may be here and there, but I had a season where 2 years our family was just going through it, and we were experiencing death. And people were like, why are you so pleasant? Are you okay? No, this hurts. Yeah, this is bothering me. But at the same time, I still want to make sure that I'm striving to represent God in a way, even in the midst of the storm, you know what I mean, that show that he is still getting the glory. And at the same time, I'm going to be okay, because we can't control death. That's going to take place. And we can't control some other things in our life. We can't even control people wanting to stay with us, and we can't control that, right?
That's true.
So that's kind of my biggest thing. I've always kind of been really mindful and conscious of how I want to respond to these crisis because I know someone is watching. So.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, because people know that we are believers, they watch you because they want to see how you act, so they can say, you ain't
And
all
here's
into
the
God
thing,
like you
even
said.
if, like I
No,
said, I
no,
have a
no.
moment I break down, know, God is forgiving. You repent and you ask for forgiveness. And once again, go back to that grace. He gives us time to get it together, right? And I'm not perfect. And in that, even in that midst of me going through it, and that's just say I didn't respond in the healthiest way, he gives me the opportunity to learn from what I did. Like he pointed out and say, listen, this is what you did. This, and I look back at him like, and then when I get through it and I realize that I'm going to be okay on the other side, I had to learn like, okay, Syreeta, that behavior wasn't necessary. So once again, being conscious of how I respond, because I know someone is still watching, but I'm going to keep using that word. It's temporary. It's not permanent. And how I respond, right? I don't want to be robbed of permanently losing my joy, right? And if I stay in something too long, that can happen. Another thing, God was just allowing me to know, like when you sit in stuff too long, your heart can become hardened. I don't want my heart to become hardened, because then it's hard for God to even communicate with me, because my heart has become hardened towards him and hardened towards other things or other people. So I try to make sure that I just don't stay in it too long, because I don't want my heart to become hardened.
Yeah, me either. That makes sense. And when your heart is hardened, like you said, it makes it really hard for God to get in. And God is amazing. God is amazing. Like just even a little bit about my story, when I was homeless or whatever, I stayed in that hotel. I made more money in that hotel than I ever did when I was where I was. God came and he showed out, and then, got a car, got me a place. God is awesome. So I for sure say I'm going to always keep my joy. Happiness, like I tell my kids, happiness depends on the happenings. So happiness comes and goes. Okay, I get it. It comes and goes. My joy forever, because my joy is in God. My joy is in God, and God will always be with me. My peace is something that I'm not willing to let anybody disrupt. It's too much. I know what it is to come into a house and instantly have anxiety because you don't have peace, or I went through anxiety and depression or whatever. I don't want that. My peace,
I want
just
to
want to
echo
keep
that,
it and
because
be
once
peaceful.
again, we have a platform where we're just being honest. So people can look at the social media platform and they can see these things and just always assume that, this person has it all together. This person, not realizing that as you striving to walk in your purpose, the enemy busy, and not just only the enemy, your flesh, right? That wants to doubt. And I had a moment where I had a breakdown. I didn't know in that moment it was a breakdown. I was just like, I'm just probably a little exhausted. And so my sister was like, you just kind of had like a mental breakdown. I was like, oh. And I remember walking in the ER, checking myself in, because I had what I didn't know at the time, anxiety attack, and which some people don't get. And I felt like God was saying in that moment, like, if you do not stop stressing and worrying about the things that you cannot fix, or if you don't, let me say it like this, if you don't stop stressing about the things that I've already fixed and already taken care of, you're going to end up permanently being here in these hospitals, because I had already, told you, and I had already let you know that my love is enough. My love is sufficient. And I had already told you, that I'm never forsaking you. But we do, and I want to put that out there, like you do have moments where, because you're trying to take care of it all on your own, and you're trying to do it all, just natural. You gotta have balance. You have to do stuff in the natural, because we are in this fleshly body, and we are here on this earth, and you still need to do it in the spiritual. You got to have a balance. We can't just be so spiritual and don't function in the natural, because we're in this human body, so we have to. So I took on a lot of stuff, and I had a lot of stuff on my mind, and it allowed me to just like collapse in that moment. But I've reached out to one or two people, and I let it out. And I had to tell myself, it's okay, you're human. Stop trying to be hero at all, at all. It's okay. What I can't do today, do it tomorrow. What I do tomorrow, do it next week. And if I can't do it, I can't do it.
Yeah. And stress and anxiety ain't no joke. When I remember years ago when I was like before I ever knew I had anxiety, I had Bell's palsy. Well, that was from, just overworking myself. People thought I had a stroke. I went to work with Bell's palsy. They had to come and get me. And it's like, no, some things we put so much on ourselves when we just shouldn't. We get overworked. Depression is real. Anxiety is real. It's just like some stuff everything we should just let God handle. But we just overwork ourselves. I remember there was a time when I was going through the anxiety and I would call you like, girl, I think my throat closing. Nothing was, remember we went to the hospital a couple times and it was absolutely nothing wrong with us because it was mental. Mm-hmm. It was a mental thing that I was dealing with. And I had to come to grips, your mental health matters. Your mental health matters. Is so important. We sit here and we go to the doctors when we hurt ourselves, but we don't want to go to a therapist when we're dealing with mental stuff. It don't mean you're crazy. It means, no, you're doing the right thing. That's your health. Take care. Yeah, I don't know why we're so afraid of therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mean us, but I mean us.
I'm not saying it's everybody in our culture, but sometimes it's taught us, right?
Right.
It's like you just deal with it on your chest, and therapy is something that you just sometimes you can look down upon, or maybe didn't have the resources to even know to do therapy, because once again, we kind of inherit the same behaviors of sometimes our elders and our upbringing. So, and we kind of do those same things until we realize that no, like you said, sometimes it's okay to meet with someone, a professional therapist, and sit down and say, hey, this is what I'm going through. But I think the first thing you have to do is realize that you are going through something, because I can be really,
right.
At times I can be in denial, right? Like, oh, I'm good. I have it. And then it's like, no, you don't have it. And it's like, sometimes it's okay to take a step back and say, you know what? Take a deep breath. I had to start telling myself, really, just take a deep breath, take it one day at a time. Or take it 1 minute at a time. You pick, you know what I mean? Like, just pull back. I had someone tell me years ago, Syreeta, you need to sharpen your axe, because I'm the type of person, you know me, I'll keep going. And I wouldn't take time just to pull back and just to recharge, because I feel like we kind of taught, like, okay, it's the thing to do 20 things at one time. I had to learn, instead of me doing 50 things and making a mess, I'd rather do 5 things and do it, or 3 things and do it great.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? You just pick and choose your battles,
right?
So,
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm wondering, like, because we're both single moms, I'll say that. Since we both single moms, that might be a single mom thing, because we got to do everything. We're just doing this, we're doing that.
Even the ones who community, it's just the nature of most moms. I'm not gonna say all, whether it's like, because we're designed. I feel like designed to, to be natures. Like we just, we the healthy. I don't want to get too, everybody has different beliefs, but naturally want to.
No, this is a podcast for women, but it's ran by a believer, so we can talk.
I think that it happens, but I what I love about God, He's a true father to us. He will sometimes allow that stuff to take place so He can show us who He is in the situation and who we are and what we need to do. I always say, God, don't let me be too far behind you or too far ahead of you. Just let me be right beside you. Yeah.
Just let me walk side by side. That's a little hard, though. It's a little hard to just trust God sometimes. And, it's hard sometimes. So we're about to jump off, but I wanted to ask you one last thing. Describe yourself in 5 words.
I see this one in the questions.
Describe yourself in 5 words. It's a thing, because I say this because it's for us women. I think sisterhood is great, and we don't ever really, let me not say never. A lot of times we do not speak positively about ourselves. So speak, positive about yourself.
About myself, 5 words to describe myself. Definitely the words you said earlier was resilient, or determined.
Yes.
I feel like I can be compassionate. I'm very compassionate. No, look, I can be compassionate. What's that? Resilient, determined, compassionate. Let me see, because I want to make sure I narrowed it down. did 3. Let me see. I don't know if that's not a positive word. I think, how would you describe me? I said, oh, so let me go. Okay, so I said, what did I say? Because I can be figured. Oh, someone said intelligent. Thank you.
Resilient.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She's struggling. Resilient.
Compassionate.
Determined.
I believe I'm also, well, that's describing words. Positive, definitely intelligent. I'll take my sister. I'll definitely say, oh, someone called me loving. Thank you. My biggest thing, I'm a fighter.
Okay.
Like, I'm straight up, I'm a fighter. Like, I am, and I believe in advocate and I always was one of those growing up, like, where I feel like, but people say I was kind of like the popular girl, you know, somewhat, because I danced coming up. So I was, you know, a dancer and different things like that. But I was the one where society would say I'm popular. I was that girl to say I want to go hang with them because I don't with you. So
right.
I'm an advocate. You know me. My thing is I can't stand bullies. And people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very a fighter, and I feel like I can be also I like to influence people to do the right thing. So I feel
you're an influencer. All right, so I would say 5 words to describe you because you made it really hard. I don't know. Beautiful, intelligent, hardworking, caring, and honest. Honest.
Yeah.
Girl, I know you're honest.
From multiple places with you. She always, girl, you're very blunt and you're very.
I mean, but that's a good thing. That's our relationship. We've been best friends for 23 years, y'all. We've known each other for a long time. But that's the good thing about you. You know, I like the honesty. I like it and I need it whether I tell you in that moment or not. You know, I always come back to it. You give great advice. So I'm gonna describe me and then you describe me. So
thanks, Oosh. Describe. Okay. Look. Yeah. Oh.
Let me
just want me to say 5 things good about you.
But I'm gonna do me and then you can do me. Give you time. I'm gonna say oh shoot, I said it like I knew. I'm gonna say smart, caring, gentle. Am I gentle? Hardworking, and resilient.
Okay. So I have to not say the same words you say. So I'm going to say absolutely beautiful. You're very compassionate. You're one of those people where you will put everybody before Veronica. That's you. You're also a survivor. You survive a lot of things, and you know I want to say determined as well. And I also want to say you're a go-getter. Like you like,
I like that. I like See, and I think that's what we should do more of. Just us uplift each other. You get on social media, you see so many negative things. That's not
she's
what we
definitely a giver.
Oh, a giver.
Like things and also
I
things
am
that's
a
not
giver.
tangible. She's definitely a giver.
No, this was fun. This was fun. It's all about sisterhood, guys. I'm gonna try to do more of this.
And you had questions before they asked if they want to open the floor. You said somebody.
They were supposed to put it on here. I haven't seen any questions yet. So let's see. Anybody have any questions? Y'all can tell us now. Wow, she's telling us where to find her. Tell us what's going on, where to find us.
Mobile. I do have a website, so I'm on Instagram, Went to Sweet Tooth, and I'm also on Facebook, Went to Sweet Tooth, and you can find me, and you'll see a link that says The Journey of a Pastry Chef, because that's another name that I work on yourself as well. And you can click the link. So for those who live here in Baltimore, I'm sorry, I'm still working. And here's the thing, y'all, the shipping, I'm still like kind of a somewhat one or few women show because my mom makes sweet potato pies. My daughter, she is a baker as well. My niece helps as well. My sister jumps in. So we are a family affair. I ain't want to say my challenge, but my things, because I make stuff from scratch, and so it's no preservatives, no artificial flavors. The shelf life is not that long, right? They're not tended to eat, to be on the shelf for 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes store-bought stuff. So my concern is if I make the stuff and it takes 2 or 3 business days, depending on what you say, to get to you, I'm concerned of how that may affect the quality of the product, right? Now, of course, the baked cookies, I might, like I said, I might have like certain things online I might start shipping, because like my cookies, they have a longer shelf life. But I'm very adamant and I'm very big on freshness. I create things the way I eat things. So that is one of the, like, somewhat the challenges, I want to make sure it's fresh. So I'm just saying, y'all can come on down. Y'all can come on down for right now. And God's willing, I do in the future would like to have more than one location, and not only just a location in Baltimore, but that's the goal. But
would you do if somebody wanted you to make them something and they wanted to fly you out? Would you do that? Like, would you come in just to do something specific for somebody?
I remember you was going to have an event, and I was willing to, because my schedule as of right now is open. And so the right now is pop-ups, and if you guys not familiar with the term, it's pretty much this new. It's not new, but it's kind of trendy thing that's going on where you pop up at different locations. So I do my production in a kitchen space, in a community kitchen space called Odd Times Kitchen, which is like located in Baltimore City. So it's a community kitchen, and what that means is not just only myself, it's myself and other amazing entrepreneurs. And I have 2 owners, Chef Kat and Chef Kaya, who's amazing. And I go in and I do my production, and then I pop up at different locations. Like, for instance, I will be popping up at 32nd Street in Waverly Farmers Market this Saturday. So I'll be popping up there. But for some reason, if you couldn't get to a farmers market, I am available online. I do have a website, so you can click and you'll see some of my delicious desserts there. I must say, when I do pop-ups, you'll see probably different menu items and different pricing and different sizing, because I do differently sometimes at different events. But yeah, so I do have a website. Also, so did I say that? I said how to find me, right? So the website, Instagram, Facebook.
And what time are you going to be?
So this Saturday I'll be at 32nd Street in Waverly from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. or until we sell out. I have had that happen where if I sell out, then there's nothing left. And one of the things that's the top seller right now is the banana cheesecake. I don't know if you guys can see my posts and my reels. That's something that someone had inspired me to make last year, and it's kind of been on fire since then. And I'll have my other, top sellers like my salty caramel cupcake, my cookies and cream. I also have a peanut butter and jelly that I don't get. Cookies and cream is her favorite. The birthday cake. The peanut butter and jelly, I need to get out more. People a lot of times are skeptical, but then when I pass out those samples and they taste it, then I'll do like the brownies. If you haven't noticed, like on my website, you'll see different names. You'll see like the Shamar bar, or you'll see like the berry rind cake. And what that means is that those desserts are named after my my sons or my niece or like my family members. So we make desserts that's inspired by our family members. So Jayla's banana pudding, that's my niece's favorite dessert. So I make that for her. The Shamar, which is my oldest son middle name, he likes brownies, so that's what we call him, the Shamar. And the berry rind cake is my middle son, who likes my strawberry cake, which is like that sponge cake with that homemade whipped cream and fresh strawberries. Yeah, so, and then my mom.
So what dessert, girl? When you want to name a dessert after me? I've been waiting. Shoot. But I want to say thank you so much for being my first guest. And I enjoyed it. I hope somebody got something to take something away from it. We're all sisters. I'm here to support y'all. Rita's here to support y'all. We just want to be of service. Just want to be of service. So thanks,
for y'all who don't know that. And also, you might see another page that pops up that says the Journey of a Pastry Chef. So that's something that's been in the making for a long time, and I kind of been holding back. But I told myself, God's willing, moving forward this year, I'm going to be doing more of like creating many just blogs of just the whole journey of just what I do as a
Yeah.
pastry chef, and not just a pastry chef, but just being a mom, being a single parent, just being a believer, and just showing clips and discussing just life, the hiccups and the different things going on.
Yeah. You know, we
I
love the behind the
do
scenes.
that for a long time.
I feel like no, we are nosy, so
I did
we
that for
love
a long
the
time. I was
behind the
just like,
scenes.
because I can be a very private person, but at the same time, if me like kind of just sharing and inspiring someone to go forth with their dreams. Hey, look, Tony came on here. Like that's my other bestie. Hey sis, yeah, Jason Tom came. That's the person you see me always collaborate with, who makes all the food. Miss Tanya's in the house. Yes, she's another one needs to come on this platform. Yes, Jesse Tom Catering that just joined. So yeah, so it's I'm working on a couple things, y'all, and I just want to continue to keep saying thank you for your support. She's definitely one of the people in the background who holds me up, who I be in the ear, and I be like, girl, and you kind of, I feel like I'm the more, even though I have them all the smiles, but I am the more like, and she.
Yes, you are. I'm the calm one.
But
when I turn up,
but I can't be little.
Yo, I've been saying this for years. I'm the cool one. I'm the cool one. I probably look like the mean one.
The mean one, but I am pleasant. But
she's pleasant.
So, like I said, I'm working on a couple of projects, and I just want to thank everyone who's been in my ear, who's been constantly supporting me, whether you purchase something from me, whether you send me a text and say I'm proud of you, whether you just give me a thumbs up or send me a heart. Like, I'm just want to thank y'all, thank everybody, because it means a lot. Like, I just came back from an awesome event with the Sexless Tribe, and some of them are on here. Woo! So,
I'm jealous. I told Shani I'm so jealous. I love Tony Evans. I wish I
some
came.
awesome people. Like, God just keeps blessing me with meeting some amazing people, men and women, who continue me, like, and they share their stories. So, you know, y'all, like, when y'all talk to me and we just love on each other, like, it just keeps me motivated.
Yeah, that's all I want. So I'm praying for a sold out event for you on Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, that event, y'all, it was
just
hard to get into. So what they're doing is now they're doing like guests, so I can be like a guest. And what my prayer is, and I hope y'all join me, is that I become permanent, that people would demand that I be there all the time. So basically, because that's a well-known market, and that's the goal, to get into a couple of farmers market and just to keep, growing. Yes.
You'll get it.
Okay.
You'll be permanent. You'll be permanent.
Oh, but wait a minute.
For sure.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well,
I think that was, that was all the questions, right?
Say. Yeah, it was all the questions. Why? You think you had tell me. Yeah, that was all the questions. So I do appreciate you. I want to tell you, I'll give you your flowers now in front of everybody. I'm super proud of you. You are amazing. I always tell you, you're an amazing mother. You're an amazing woman, friend, daughter, everything. And I know this year is going to bring breakthroughs like no other. I'm telling you, this year, God going to show out for you this year. I believe it. All right, girl. I love you. Bye, y'all.